MuggleNet, and you've been working with them for a long time, a couple years now.
Yeah.
Talk about, is it an internship? Is it a job? Talk about getting it, your first job or thing you were assigned. Just talk about the whole experience.
All right. So I found out about it through because I've been a follower of theirs forever. The website started in 1999.
What is the
Um,
website for people who don't know?
it's mugglenet.com. It is an all Harry Potter Wizarding World resource. We do news, we have like quizzes on there. It's like just where you go for all things Wizarding World. Um, we have Instagram and Facebook and Twitter and TikTok now is our new adventure. Pinterest we have, which we're trying to build up. But I found out about an internship through Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, yeah, okay, I might as well do it. Like I could just put an internship on my resume, like whatever it was. It was for social media promotion, I think, which I have no intentions of going into social media promotion, but I was like, I want to work for this site, so let's do it. Um, and I was on the Instagram team, and maybe I started December 2018, I want to say, was when my internship was like given to me. And then I guess 6 months go by, maybe a little bit longer, maybe 8 months. I get offered a full-time position. It's all volunteer work, but there are opportunities to get paid. But yeah, just social media promotion for Instagram. And then recently in September, I got promoted to assistant manager of social media engagement. So now I
Ooh,
oversee,
fancy.
yeah, now I oversee all social media except for TikTok. And that's
Damn.
that's it. I don't
I
oversee
love
TikTok.
TikTok.
I know. I love TikTok too. I've been a part of a couple of the MuggleNet TikToks, but not like invested in, okay, let's actually post here. I think we only have one person who posts and does everything for TikTok. And then we'll ask like, oh, can we have 10 people to do a message or something? But yeah, so I oversee, who posts to Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And yeah, so that's I've written a couple of, actually maybe a handful of articles. I did the Comic-Con for 2019. That I did a few like overview articles, and then the one for Cursed Child, and I think I did one for another one. There was like a Percy Jackson panel that was talking about storytelling and how fantasy storytelling works. Um, I did a couple of articles for reviews. When you get promoted, they give you a review opportunity. They'll send you something for free. Like a company who makes Wizarding World stuff will send you something for free for you to review. And that happens when you get promoted. So I think when I got offered the full time position, I got a board game. I got a
Oh, I
board
love that.
game. Yeah, it's such a cool board game. I haven't played it in a while, but I got that, and then my second promotion, I got a Christmas set. It was like a little shop, like a Harry Potter shop that is covered in snow and it lights up and it has like Harry, Hermione, and Ron. That's really cute.
Are those
Um,
like those little like Christmas town pieces?
Yeah, exactly. And the
I love
company makes a bunch of them, but they just sent me like the joke shop, and I was like, cool, I wanted this one anyway.
I love those things so
They're
much.
so cute. I know. And the lighting is just like when you turn it on, it just feels so Christmassy. And I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
I wish I could have this around year round. And then my third promotion, I got a pin from wizardingworld.com, which is, the main Harry Potter website. They sent me a pin from they do like this new collection, I guess, and you just have to you pay annually to be a part of this membership, but then you can like pay for smaller things like pins and stuff like that. They sent me one of those, so I had to review that on Instagram. Actually, I had to do a live for the first time. I had like
Stop.
1,500 people watching me, and I was like, I don't know what to say. I was like, I don't do this. I just am behind the screen typing your messages. I've never done a live before, so that was pretty interesting. Um, and yeah, so written a handful of articles. Um, I also went
Is that your
to
favorite doing the articles? Because I mean, you love writing.
yeah, I love writing, but something about like I think it's just so stressful because I've been on the social media platform for so long, just typing like a small paragraph and be like, click the link in our bio, like stuff like that. So when writing a full article, there are so many things you have to make sure you do. So
Yeah.
I guess like if you're doing that more, and I guess like, if you write 200 and 500, I think it's 250 to 500 words. Like if you do that, like I'm used to that because of school, like they say, oh, write 500 words um, about XYZ. But for some reason, this is just so stressful. It's like you have to do 5 pictures at this specific format in this specific saved document. And it's just, I always feel like I'm doing something wrong. I usually do because I'm not used to it, but it's usually like how many pixels the picture is. Like I always get that wrong. I'm like, how do I even like I love photography and like filmography and I understand pixels, but like how do I change that? Like if they're like, oh, change it to 2020 pixels or something. I'm like, okay, can you just do it? Like, I don't know how to. Can you do it for me? Thanks.
Would you consider yourself a perfectionist then?
Absolutely. I'm a
Yeah.
perfectionist at everything. It's bad. It's not good. It's not
Um,
good.
so I have a question since you're a big Harry Potter fan. What do you feel about these supposed rumors of this potential Harry Potter series coming out?
Yeah. So it's been blowing up actually we have like a MuggleNet chat of all the leaders and everybody hates the idea. I'm like open to it. Like I'll probably watch it. I think there's a lot that can go wrong, but HBO is just so good with show making. Like if anybody was to make it, I would trust HBO.
Right.
So I'm open to it. I think I'm way more excited for the video game than anything. But the show, I mean, I think it just depends. I think they could have done like a Marauders show with like, the big four and expanded on their lives at Hogwarts. I'm hoping they're not going to do like a Harry, Ron, and Hermione because we already have a Harry, Ron, and Hermione, and they're over it. Like they're like, we're done with Harry Potter. Like we closed that chapter in our lives. Um, except for Rupert Grint loves being Ron, and I guess Daniel Radcliffe loves being Harry too. But I don't know. I feel like there's so much that can go wrong. But if I were to trust a network to produce it, it would be HBO. I feel like there could be a little right. There could be a little bit of
But
good in
I
there.
feel like that's the mindset with any fan with any new show.
Yeah. It's
Because
very
again,
like,
the
yeah,
cult
no,
following that
agreed.
sits behind it, they're very like, we want it this way.
Yeah,
And if
and
it's not
only
this
this
way,
way.
we don't want it at all.
Exactly. I think that's too like, I don't know. People in our chat have been saying that they should ask, the fans to submit ideas. Like that's what they did for Star Trek a few years ago. They asked maybe not even a few years ago, maybe a long time ago. I don't remember the timeline of it, but they asked fans to submit their ideas and scripts and stuff, and they picked 2 fans to write the whole series. Um, and they did everything right. I don't watch Star Trek, so I don't really know what right is in their mind.
You're not a Trekkie.
I'm not a Trekkie. I'm a Warsy. I'm a Star Wars person. um, but yeah, so I think that there's a lot there. Like I'm gonna give it a shot. There's no harm in me like not like totally canceling it. Like I'm open to it.
Yeah. I was talking the other day, um, and my husband and I were talking, and we were talking about, because we're big fans of the Avatar series, the
Ugh,
animated series
Oh,
and
here
stuff.
she goes.
And
yes.
Here she goes.
Yes.
uh, we were talking about, how much we would love a video game. But here's our thing, because Star Wars is making a video game with Ubisoft, that open world game, which
Mhm.
Ubisoft is great with open world. I mean, they made all the Assassin's Creed games and stuff like that. we were saying that we don't necessarily want a video game that has the main characters on it because you already know what happens, with their
Exactly.
storylines and stuff.
And they have the Lego ones.
Yeah, yeah. But I'm saying, like, for Harry Potter, just like anything else that already has a developed story, you already know what happened, with those characters and
Right.
stuff. You want to like explore different realms or different storylines in that specific universe to not only draw in a new crowd, but also bring fans and, pique their interest again. Because you don't want to hear, Harry did this for like the 10th time or whatever.
Yeah.
But, but if you do use those characters, it would have to be like a different timeline than people already know. Like they already know what happened when they
Absolutely.
were at school,
Yeah.
So
And that's what I think the idea of Fantastic Beasts was so cool. It was like, okay, we're seeing a totally new side of the Wizarding World. We're getting a totally new region, like area. They're in New York and it's in the 20s and there are all these new characters that are developed. I mean, whether or not, people like the second one or the new one that's coming out and all that stuff that's happening there, it was such a nice change, I guess, because even the Fantastic Beasts book was just like supposed to be a textbook of all these different beasts, but then they turned it into a totally new series. And I think you're completely right in saying if you do the same characters, we don't want to see what happens 10 times. Like we don't want to find out that Harry's a Horcrux. We know that. Like we know that information. I
Yeah,
think that's a really good point.
totally.
And I think I think that's a fun thing about the new video game that's coming out. It's set in the 1800s, the late 1800s, in the Wizarding World in Hogwarts, but you're creating your own story. Like
right.
you're choosing your path if you want to be a Death Eater or whatever they were called at that time. And you're just choosing your own path. So I think that's really important. But an Avatar game, I will sign up for that in a heartbeat. I would love that.
What nation are you? Or
I always
element?
bounced. I always bounced. I always feel like I should be in the Fire Nation, but the Water Nation just calls to me. I don't know why.
That's, well, you're Pisces.
Oh, that's true. This is true. Also, it's just, I don't know. Qatar is just really cool. The whole Water Nation is just really
What
cool.
are you, D? Yo,
I
wait,
would
you're
have
Earth,
yours.
right?
Yeah.
I took one of those BuzzFeed quizzes. It said I was the Avatar, so
Wow. Oh my gosh, I'm
with
honored to be talking to the Avatar right now.
I feel like I could do anything. It depends on my mood.
Bingo. That is the Avatar attitude.
Um,
Oh my god.